episode number 244. Are these comics going to make good film and television shows? We have Superman number 27 and Predator vs. Spider-Man number 3. Let's talk about them right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And we're going to talk about Spider-Man and Superman, probably some of the two flagship characters of both Marvel and DC. But which is better? Which is going to be possibly hitting the screen in the future? Will it be Marvel? Will it be DC? Before we get into it, remember to give me a like, give me a subscribe if you can. Ring that bell, ding, ding. If you can, share this video out there so a lot of the normies that aren't collecting can see what's out there on the racks. And also remember, too, that I am a writer myself, so if you'd like to read anything that I've written, you can go to Amazon.com and just type my name in. You got plenty of stuff down there, including my 4-novel series, Destiny Aurora. And it was made into a board game, an RPG, a graphic novel. It's also on Audible. All my stuff is on Kindle, including my fantasy novel, Tales of Ravenor, the Iron Witch, and my new comic that is now up on Kickstarter for pre-launch called Fairy Tales of Terror, where we're featuring a psychotic Cinderella, a murderous Captain Hook. I gave him a fire fairy, and they are just scraping their knives across New York City, leaving a whole bunch of blood in their path. And they're being hunted by Neverland's Tiger Lily. And she is determined to stop them. So definitely check that out. Just go to the QR code over here, or there's a link in the description below, and you can jump into that. It's not launched yet. All you have to do is click Notify Me. And we're, I think we're closest to 300 followers right now. So it's going to be a great campaign. Don't miss out on it. All right, so let's jump into Superman, number 27 by Joshua Williamson. And I really like this run. I think Joshua Williamson really gets Superman. Dan Slott's writing an Ultimate, Unlimited, Superman Unlimited, I believe it is. I've already dropped it. I don't like what he's doing with the kryptonite thing and everything like that. It just doesn't work. It doesn't fit into continuity. None of that stuff even helps. So what I don't understand about this right now is Lois has been Superwoman this entire time because of the whole absolute event that happened, that everybody swapped powers and all that bullshit that I didn't even bother with. And she has Zod's powers, right? But now she's powerless, right? Something happened that she lost all of her powers. So what happened to Zod? Zod was, in the last issue, was on his way to Earth, I believe, to get his powers back. And we don't know anything about that. It just kind of dropped. So I'm not understanding what's going on with that portion of it. I like that Lois is back to normal. We did not need another super person in this family. It's already overloaded with super people, whether they be Kryptonian or whether they not. It's just too much. So I'm glad they stripped her of that stuff. I'm waiting. Well, I'm not gonna wait for Aquaman because I already dropped Aquaman. So I won't be doing any reviews on Aquaman again. But we start out here with Lois, basically being the editor, and when she was Superwoman, Silver Banshee is dating Jimmy Olsen, and there was a little bit of an accident where he got blasted. But the only thing he's got now is some burns on his arms, apparently. But anyway, she comes to hug him, but Silver Banshee is not very forgiving. She doesn't know that she was Superwoman, but she's like, oh, that damn Superwoman, if I see her again, I'm going to give her an earache. But anyway, so Superman's got a little problem because he's got some red kryptonite running through him. And then we have Marilyn Midnight, which I really like the look of this character. I like that she kind of glows. I don't really understand the character because she just appears, but then we find out that she's being controlled by Lex. So when she appears, it's because Lex made her appear. But Superman doesn't understand, and neither does the audience understand how that even works. But anyway, so he's all raging out because of the red kryptonite, and he says, "Trust me," and he's trying to figure out, what's going on with her also. But then we have Lex show up with Mercy, and I keep forgetting that she's a cyborg. But anyway, so Lex shows up and says, "I'm leaving LexCorp to you, or SuperCorp, or you can come with me." And that's where it kind of ends for right now, so we don't know what decision she made at this point. But then Superman and Marilyn Midnight head over to deal with Farm and whatever, Graf, I think it is, and they're in some kind of a mech suit. And he basically throws the SuperCorp logo at them, pretty much, hearkening on the fact that it's the end of SuperCorp. So everything that's kind of been built up in the last 27 issues is now he's starting over, which that's good. That's the way it should be. I didn't really feel like this storyline went too long, like I feel with a lot of others, because so much really happened. There's been new villains and stuff like that have happened. So I didn't really feel like this was dragging out. But I like the fact that he's kind of resetting and is going to start something new. But then Lex basically gives him the idea that Marilyn Midnight can cure him of the red kryptonite, and he tells her to shoot him, which she does, and he is cured. So he says, Lex gave me the cure, I just didn't know it was right next to me. And then she kind of disappears, and then we kind of get this epilogue of him saying, "Well, do you miss, being Superwoman?" And she's like, "No, it really wasn't me. I'll miss flying with you," and stuff to that effect. So they fly out on a kind of a date situation. And the LexCorp logo is back on top of the building. I don't know where Lex is going here, but he's obviously going somewhere to deal with something. It's kind of up in the air. But we find out, too, that Mercy obviously did not go with him. Then we push into the future with Doomsday again, and we have the setup of the new villains, and Booster Gold is there. And he escapes, not Booster Gold, but Doomsday stays through a portal, and I forgot his name, Time Trapper or something like that. And then we have this group say, yes, time to meet Superman. So good stuff. I like what he's doing here. I like that he doesn't sit on a storyline too long. And now we're in basically a brand new setup. SuperCorp is gone. Lois doesn't have her powers anymore. Total reset. And I like it. So let's see what goes on from here. But yeah, let's... now, would this make a good film or television show? Absolutely. I think this is something that James Gunn can mine. Because... instead of doing Supergirl, I don't know what he's doing Supergirl, but he could have the Superwoman storyline. I really thought that the Superwoman storyline was going to end with a battle with Zod, and I'm kind of upset it didn't happen. But I don't know. I'm very confused about that portion of it. Maybe it's still coming. I don't know. If I was him, I would definitely end it with an epic battle with Zod. So let's see what happens. All right, so let's jump into Spider-Man, and he's battling Mr. Predator's neighborhood. But apparently, it's by Benjamin Percy, but apparently there's only 4 issues. So this is not sticking around very long. I love the fact that they put Kraven in here. It's too bad that the Kraven movie was so poor. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't Kraven. That's the problem. But I love how they give them the suit at the end. Like, if this film doesn't do well, what are you setting up for? Nothing. Just put all your chips on the table on the first book, on the first movie. There's no reason to say, well, in the second movie, what if you don't have a second movie? So why say I'm setting up for a second movie when there's only one? Because you're never going to see another Kraven movie. They should have put him in the thing in the beginning. Forget an origin story for Kraven. Who cares? I don't understand any of that. But anyway, I think we have a different artist on here. It looks a little weird. But anyway, Peter and Jonah are in the new Daily Bugle building. The Predators are up on top, and this is the storyline that we're kind of seeing now halfway through this miniseries, is that the Skinner, that's what they're calling the other Predator, that's just kind of killing everything, which is not how Predators work normally. And that's the question I had earlier, was that the fact that they only fight things that have weapons because they're feeling that they're testing their mettle against other military people or other warriors or whatever. But in this case, we have one Predator that is just killing anything. And he's just skinning everything. So anyway, the Predators jump through the ceiling. So he pushes J. Jonah into the elevator to get him out the way. And he takes off his thing to go into Spider-Man mode. And they are hunting. They're looking at the evidence there. And they're hunting the Skinner character. Because I guess he might be a villain or something like that. Or a criminal on their world. And here's what I don't understand. Take a look at this piece of thing here. What is this? What is this? I don't understand how that works. His back is broken. Here's his belt, here's his back, and there's a space in here. It's almost like he was cut in half. But anyway, one of the spinny things actually hit him. It was like a Krull thing. I forgot the glaive. Yeah, remember the glaive from Krull? But anyway, so he fights them off, and then we switch over to, I guess, Con Ed trying to put the power back on, and they get an arrow. I don't know how Kraven is chasing these guys down or knowing exactly how they're trying to turn the power back on, but they are. And he says, "Nope, this is my hunt. You're not turning the power back on right now." And then we get into all the city stuff where all the stuff's being skinned all over the place. I do like the whole Kraven stuff right here. We don't get to see much with Kraven at this point, but then we switch back into the sewer where we have Mary Jane and this other woman and this homeless guy, and they know they're getting tracked by the Predator, so he sacrifices himself. He throws them into a whole thing of rats. He gets killed, but the Predator can't see them because of all the rats. Because his heat signature sees only the rats. So I thought it was very smart, but he does sacrifice himself. So meanwhile, you got Spider-Man that's continuing to fight these guys, and he does his classic move where he webs both of them and smacks them both in the head. Then he pulls one of the helmets off the Predator. And he says, "Let's see what's underneath here." And he's like, "Oh, no, put it back." I thought that was funny. But there's the signature move with the thing where he pulls their heads together. Meanwhile, you have the cop and J. Jonah looking down the bottom, and a webbed version of the Predator comes out from through the window. And he's like, "What the hell is that?" And then it comes out of it. The blades come out, etc. So yeah, good stuff. I like this. I don't really collect Spider-Man much, so for me to collect Spider-Man, it has to be pretty good. It's only 4 issues, so I figured why not. I still have no idea why they're charging $5, but Marvel is overcharging for their books. They really, really are, and it's not like they're getting a licensing fee since they own Fox. So will this make a good film or television show? Yeah, if they wanted to do a Spider-Man versus Predator movie, tell me that wouldn't make money. Tell me that wouldn't make money. If they did an Aliens versus Avengers, that would make money too. Or even a portion of the Avengers. Can you imagine like an Alien versus Iron Man? That would be great. That would be great. That's funny shit. But yeah, so Alien versus Thunderbolts, that would be good too. And then Superman, yeah, I like pretty much everything that Joshua Williamson's done here. Really good stuff. All right, well that's it for me. Remember to give me a like. Oh, if I'm going to take the difference between the two, Superman is still better than the Spider-Man Predator. In my opinion. So if I'm going to choose between the two of them, I'm going to take Superman. Anyway, that's it for me. Remember to give me a like, give me a subscribe if you can. If you can ring that bell ding ding, and also share this video out there. Also remember too that you can check out my stuff on Amazon. Just type my name in or a link in the description below. And definitely jump in on Fairy Tales of Terror right now. Click it to get notified so you can take advantage of the early bird specials that will be coming up. And yeah, it's going to be lots of fun. And like I said, we're going to hit 300 people very, very shortly. I'd like to get to 400 before I even launch, which I don't think is going to be a problem. All right. Thanks again, guys. Have a great week. I'll see you guys on the next episode.